Hello friends, today topic is work experience. Let's rant.
Baby, this week I cannot even lie. It's getting to me. It's getting to me, and we just need to talk about the black pet to the black threat situation. Literally, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Tell me if this situation sounds familiar, right? You're happy, you have a new job, you get there, everyone is so interested, right? You're the new shiny thing, you're so well spoken, you're so put together, they want to know everything about you. Yeah? There's a bit of a learning curve, but eventually you kind of understand the system. You understand what's expected of you, what directors like, and before you know it, you're given more and more responsibility. And with that responsibility, maybe if your job, depending on your job, right, you maybe start holding people accountable, or you maybe, I don't know, are making decisions for people below you that don't necessarily look like you. And then all of a sudden it's a switch, and you see it, you feel it, you clock it, right? And at some places it takes a little longer, and some places it happens like pretty quickly. But regardless of when it happens, when it does happen, all of a sudden there are comments on your demeanor, on your behavior. If you start getting feedback, it's more so about how you present and not necessarily about the work that you do. And that sort of thing really gets to me, especially this week. There are times where I see people come into the office. I see them come in, do the bare minimum, pass their tasks off to other people. And I've even seen, which is so funny to me because I just know this would never happen for me, but I've even seen people not be good at their job, and it's kind of like the joke of the office that that person isn't that great at the job. And then eventually someone gets hired, and then now there's another person who can now assist with the tasks that this silly, goofy person does not have the competency to do. And it's just something that I have seen like over and over again, and it just really wears on you. And I don't know, I feel like this week, and it's just like bringing up other things that have happened to me, but it's like, how do you prefer for us to show up? Please tell me, and we will do it, because we try to get a check too, right? So it's like, I feel like if I show up like this and I'm talking like this and I'm like, how you doing, girl, like, you guys think it's cute, but then it's not professional enough, right? If I have my composure together and I'm laughing when appropriate and I'm smiling and I'm like, oh, I disagree, maybe you think that I need to be a little bit more aggressive. I'm too agreeable, right? So then when I say, hey, no, I don't really respond well to that, or no, that doesn't make sense to me, how about we do this, this, and this? I'm aggressive, right? Okay, so then I take that feedback. Okay, so now I'm just sitting here like this. I can't smile too much, right? Because it seems like I'm too jokey and I just am here to make friends. I can't be too stern because then I'm aggressive. But so when I'm here with a neutral face, when I'm nodding, when I'm engaged, to you, it looks like I'm not interested. So please, please tell me how we are expected to show up in a space that scrutinizes us when we just wanted to do our job. But instead of doing our job, we are doing so many more things, right? We are balancing our appearance, how we show up, our emotions, how we react to things. We just cannot be authentic. And it's so funny that that's the feedback that a lot of us get, because when we are authentic, it doesn't work in our favor. I don't know, honey. I just know that there are no tips and tricks this week. I'm exhausted, and I will be on PTO next week, and as you can see, I am in dire need of it.
So I put in my 2 week notice today so I can finally tell you guys about the craziest thing that has ever happened to me at work. Tell me why I went to a conference with my job and they tried to get us to share a bed. Yes, you heard me correctly. A bed with my coworkers in the hotel room. Now, for more context, I had literally just started, and the whole team had plans to go to Boston for this conference called Inbound that HubSpot puts on every year. And they told me when they hired me, like, hey, we're getting ready to go to Inbound. We know you're just getting started, but we really want you to come. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. I've traveled to Boston for work so many times, so I'm like, it really is no problem. That's fine. They're like, okay, we'll book your ticket. So then I actually start in the role, and they start talking about accommodations. And the spreadsheet is going around for us to say who we would have a preference to room with in the hotel. So already my alarm bells are going off because I'm like, I've traveled for work before and they have never made me share a hotel room with any of my coworkers. I've always got my own room. And so I know that I'm not going to be comfortable sharing a hotel room with anybody. And I just met these people, okay? So I expressed that concern to my supervisor. I'm like, hey, I understand there might be budget concerns or whatever. I'm not really comfortable sharing a room. I will find my own accommodation. Don't you worry about me. And they're like, okay. She was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to the CEO about it and I'll let you know. She comes back to me. She's like, hey, the team building is so important for this trip. We really just would prefer if you would stay in the hotel. And I'm already like, I don't understand why that would be a big deal. I'm telling you, I will be present at all mandatory team outings, do all of the ones and the twos, but I want to find my own accommodations. So either way, like I said, I just got here. I'm not going to press the issue, but I know damn well I'm not sleeping in that hotel room with nobody else. So the time comes, I fly to Boston, and I get a Slack message from the CEO, and she's saying, hey, there was a little minor mix up with the hotel. So if you get there and they don't have your name, don't be alarmed. When I get there, I'll fix it. So I'm the first one to get to the hotel. So I'm like, I go up, I give them my name, they don't have it. I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. She said that there was a mix up on the reservation. So I'm like, she'll fix it when she gets here. So people start to sprinkle in one by one, and then the CEO finally gets here, and she's over there talking to the clerk, and she comes over and she says, hey, so there's been a mix-up, and they only booked us for a single room, so a room that has one bed in it, not two, mind you, because we're supposed to be sharing a room. Do you know that she was just like, oopsie, I need you guys to be sharing, you guys will be sharing a bed with your roommate. And do you know that them people actually slept in the same bed together? I'm saying them people because I was at my homegirl house in her guest bedroom. Thank you so much, Lou, if you see this. Hey, girl. But no, they really full on expected us fully grown adults to share a hotel bed with one another on a professional work trip. And they did. And they actually did it. That is the craziest shit I have ever experienced in all of my working years.
You want to know how I know I'm getting older? Because the biggest thing pissing me off right now is having too much free time during the summertime. I don't have a job. I'm not making money. And while in prior years I would have been like, oh my god, this is great, I get to just chill. No, this fucking sucks. I'm unemployed and poor. Not a single dollar to my name. All I do is rot here. And like I said, Tegan a couple years ago would have been like, I can't even play Roblox. I feel too bad for being lazy. Putting more hours in Bloxburg than I do in real life.
Hard times and good times we have seen a lot in the workplace. What do you think?
Hey, I'm the guy that went viral for that wealth in a garage video. But look, check this out. So never let your job know that you got a second job or another source of income. When I was 17, I was working at McDonald's in my local grocery store. And once I was at McDonald's originally. Once they found out that I got the second job at the grocery store, they used to make all kind of passive aggressive remarks. Oh, he don't need McDonald's and McDonald's don't need him. Oh, what you working so much for? What you got a wife and kid to take care of? And just, I'm just a senior in high school, just working. I knew I wasn't going to the league, so I stopped playing sports and just wanted to work and make money. So one night I called in sick to go work at the grocery store because they wouldn't give me a set schedule because they didn't care about my second job. They used to say something like, we're not giving you no set schedule. You want a second job, that's on you. So I call in, and then one of my friends / classmates, he hits me up to hang out, and he's like, oh, let's go to McDonald's and get some food. So me, young, my brain wasn't fully developed. I go to McDonald's after I got off at that local grocery store, and the manager, the spiteful manager, she's like, oh, you had the nerves to call in sick, and then you came here to get something to eat? Oh, then she told the dude, she was like, hey, bring me that schedule here. Oh, you work Thursday and Wednesday? All right, don't you show up either. You better not show up. I'm taking you off the schedule. So as a 17-year-old, I listen to, my authority figure. I don't show up for work. So then I go back. My next shift is like that next Monday, and they say don't show up. Well, it was like that next Monday, and they say, oh, you was no call no show for Thursday and Wednesday, so you terminated for no call no show. So I'm like, well, damn. She set me up out of hate, and then I feel like my classmates slash homeboys set me up on some shit. Cause I told him, I said, bro, I called in today, so I really shouldn't go in. He was, convinced me, man, nothing gonna happen, man. They ain't gonna say nothing. So with that being said, don't have people in your business. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Cause I let that first job know about that second job, and they plotted on me, and they didn't like that I was, working somewhere else.
Let me tell you something. Out of all the years I have worked in my life, the worst thing a female could ever do to herself in the workforce is work with a group of females. It is absolutely the worst fucking thing ever. You want to talk about going to high school again, dealing with high school drama and shit because bitches want to talk about you behind your back and be petty as fuck and want to tattletale and can't step to you like a grown-ass woman? Go get a job with a group of fucking females. It will literally be the most breakdown, draining experience you'll ever have in your fucking life, bitch.
What is grown men's obsession with little girls? Literally children. When I used to work at Starbucks, there was this grown-ass man, well over 30. He used to linger around Starbucks. He would come and order and say remarks to the women about their looks, talk to them about other coworkers that he has eye on or whatever. And at first, we just dismissed him as one of those. Because a lot of the times, the men at the airport would come to Starbucks just to bother or see the girls that worked there. We were just kind, I guess. He would ask us our ages and everything. He knew a lot of us were literally 18 to 23. That was the window. I remember one time I was passing him a food that he had ordered or whatever. I remember him grabbing the food. So we had to brush past my hand to get his food. Oops, you don't have to touch me. As he's grabbing the food, he's looking me in the eyes and he's like, stop. This is real life. This is not anime. Stop. One day, the girls were telling me that he came in when I wasn't there and was talking to them about hentai. 18, 19-year-olds, by the way, telling them how he enjoys hentai and tentacle porn and they should watch it. What the fuck are you doing? Mind you, this is a manager at one of the stores in the airport. At your big, grown, ancient age. Nobody in this establishment is interested in that grown man. You are well-aged, sir. We don't want that. I know 30 is not that old, but when you're 18, no 30-year-old man should be trying to talk to you about porn. Honestly, like, when I got wind of that, I'm like, y'all need to start reporting that nigga. And honestly, they did, but nothing really happened because y'all already know how that go. There was a lot of creepy old men at that airport who got away with being weird with little girls.
Thanks you for watching the video and stay safe out there. Until next video, bye.